time difference and wanting to be adjusted to being there. And I know fighters go over usually a month ahead of time, usually whatever else. But I mean, you have killers out here in Ontario to train, and I know it's not any shot on them. But what is different about Thailand? And obviously it's Thailand. But what is it? Talk about the intensity and the specificness of Thailand that you need for part of your training camp.
I think it's just the spirit of fighting here, right? Like it brings a different dog out of me, and it's so beautiful too. Like it's easier to wake up and just to kind of do your thing. And then besides that, like back home, there's always distractions. There's family, there's this and that, business, whatever. And here there's no distractions, man. My mind is clear. I know what the goal is. I have my guys around me, and it's straight grind here. No
I
what do you
get it.
call shortcuts. You know.
And I was sort of thinking that, like, back here it's home, right? So it's like even one of your best training partners may have a job and a family and things going on, and that's like there's things going on here. There's so many moving parts. There's
Mhm.
guys that are sort of half in it, that are sort of fighting part way, that are in your camps and whatever else. But when you go to Thailand, it's like everybody wakes up, they go and they go train. The
Yeah.
guys that you're training with, they're breathing it.
Yeah, yeah, and there's so much of it here too. It's like everywhere you go. Like I'm here at this Soy Taller. It's like they call it the fight street or the fitness street, and it's just all gyms, restaurants, like health for like it's just and the food and everything is just like it's a healthy living. You're eating
So we
all
know
the
where
right
you're
stuff.
retiring
We're
to.
not we're not eating no pesticides, pumped shit in our food. So, like there's a lot. I mean, everything combined it just makes it a great experience, and it just puts you in a different state of mind spiritually as well, just because
Well,
the
you can
place is
see
so
it on you. Like even I can only imagine even getting up and walking down a street like that. Like there's already like a feel and a vibe that you're already a part of, right? Like so it's like
Oh
you're
yeah.
already engaged. You're like you have no choice but to be engaged in that lifestyle, I would imagine.
No, for sure, for sure, for sure. And it's just like it's all around you. It's all around you too, right? So
One thing that's a draw as a fan, I'm obviously a hardcore fan. I have a podcast. I'm trying to push this, and I follow fights all the time, doing videos. I'm one of the nuts. One thing that draws me to you as a fan is you remind me of, like, I grew up in the 90s. I'm 40 years old. You remind me of those hardcore, badass, damaging martial artists that, like, not necessarily that you saw in Bloodsport, but like came out of that era. You know what I mean? Like those badasses that just destroy people. That's what you remind me of. That's why I even said, like, in that reel, it's like he's a fucking Mortal Kombat character. Talk about
sick.
that, man. Like, but where does that come from? And I know that you're past and coming from Bosnia, and I know that there's a whole story there. But talk about, like, that. You seem like the nicest guy in the world, but there's a part of you that I would never want to cross in the
The
wrong way.
menace in me, the menace in me. um, I guess it just came with who I am. What I've been through, and what I aspire to be. And hey, me. This is a lot of times I see this a lot. Actually, a lot of times fighters forget that we're entertainers. you know, come in to entertain. They just come here. A lot of fighters come here just to win fights. Yeah, winning is fun. Winning is fun, but win the crowd before you win the fight. Like me, I would rather win a crowd and lose a fight than losing a fight and you know what I mean, the other way around. But yeah, man. I mean, I enjoy what I do. I love it. It's the fire's burning, and I'm here to entertain. And as long as everybody's tuned in, trust me, lots of entertainment.
But that even speaks to, like, what I'm talking about, the difference with you, because when you say entertain, you're talking about going in there and taking somebody's soul in the in a
Gladiator
cage
shit.
or a ring. and going out and doing what you do best to entertain, not going out and talking a bunch of shit beforehand and not backing it up, right? Like that's what I love about your style. It's like, and even from like the House of Champions, if you look at the long list of guys that have come out of there, there's guys that it's just all damage. It's all I absolutely love it, to be honest, man.
Well, it has a lot to do with that because he brings that Eastern European hardcore mentality into the gym, and we feed off of that, and that's what makes us who we are. You got to feed off the energy. That's what comes out.
Rodtang, someone you wanted for a while. What is it about Rodtang that you want this fight?
Well, it's my kind of fight, man. You know, um, he is very exciting, and I'm very exciting, and I think we you got two guys who got the same caliber, same kind of aggressive fighters, and it just calls for a great fight, and I think that stylistically that will be the fight of the year, man. If both guys come in, uh, in shape and putting they're all in there, leaving it all inside. I think it's gonna be a fucking sick fight. You know, doesn't
And
matter
no, it is a kickboxing
it
rules
doesn't matter
matchup.
who comes out on top either. It's gonna be a sick, violent night.
Let's go. I love it. And now, stylistically, because I know you can bring more of a kickboxing style to the table in this approach, and it is a kickboxing match, but it's going to be hard for a guy who's so rooted in his Thai style to really get away from that at points. What is it about that stylistic matchup that sort of plays well for you?
it's I hit hard, man. I hit hard, and I like to be in these. I get into these brawls sometimes, and I love it. There's no better. There's nothing, no better feeling for me. There's like, you can't find the fucking drug to get like that high is different. And there's no high like it, and I'm fucking. That's what I crave. And then, like I'm almost 40 years old, man. I'm still doing this shit, and I still crave that every day. And I think that's
But
what.
that's what woven into you, right? And like even if you have this white collar kid that comes from a white collar family that gets into MMA and really loves it, he'll speak about the knockout the exact same way that you talk about it. Like, and I mean, I say white collar kid, I mean somebody who has never had really any crazy stakes in their life. They get into MMA through the wrestling gym, whatever the hell it is. They've talked about knockouts, and there's guys like this in the game where they've never really had bigger stakes than just in the cage. And when they're in the cage, that knockout has that same sort of venomous feel to it. Like you have this like that high that you get from it right after you do it.
Oh
Because
yeah, there's no
what
feeling like it.
talked a little bit about Bosnia. You've come from hard times, come to Canada. You have your own business. You have had your own career, and now you have developed, a team. You develop a family, your own family at Soy Dogs. Talk about that. And it's one thing to be the killer in the cage, but now what you've really done. And I've only seen a window into it through online, but it looks pretty damn great what you've developed there over at Soy Dogs.
Um, it's been amazing, man. We've been open for just over a year now, and the gym is thriving. Um, we have great support from the community, but we also, we're here to also help. Give other people the chance to maybe find. Look, the toughest thing in the world is to find what you're good at and what you know what I mean. Like, you gotta find your dreams. It's hard. I was blessed at a young age to find that. At Soy Dogs, what we're trying to do is basically try to give those opportunities to people. Like the one, just like I had the opportunity to maybe change my life. You know what I mean? And that's what we're trying to do
And,
there.
and a lot of people have even said that martial arts itself, even if it itself isn't the dream, it's helped people find their dream because it's allowed them to focus themselves and sort of figure
Of
things out and
course.
be the catalyst.
Well, it's martial arts, right? It helps, it helps with a lot of things, it helps you focus, helps you, discipline and find yourself, helps you find yourself. As long as you find that, you got to channel channel that shit. You know what I mean? So it's been a wild ride, to be honest. You know, with this martial arts career, because I've been all over. Like I've done it all. You know, taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA. Um, I've done it all, and it's been a blessing to have in my life. And now I get to I get to spread the knowledge and all my experience that I've earned throughout the years, and share with everybody at Soy Dogs and House of Champions as well. Because that's still my team as well, and you know, yeah, man, it's been great.
And now, if you like, say you have, a 16-year-old kid walk in your doors and he sees you kicking the bag, everybody has a story. Even Joe Rogan has a story of like seeing that person, you know, putting that fuel in there, like creating that desire, seeing somebody work at a high level, doing something that's so amazing, and they put years into. Rewind this. If you could go back to you as that 16-year-old kid, how proud? I know this is sort of a cheesy question, but it's a good question, man. How proud would he be, and what would he say to you about where the hell you are right now? Because you're in a pretty amazing situation right now.
Shit, man, going through everything I went through in life, and ups and downs, and in career and life. I mean, we all make mistakes in life and shit. I mean, I've had definitely made tons of them in my life, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't be who I am today if it wasn't the case, right? So, um, sorry, what was the question again? Back to the question.
Like what?
Fuck,
Like
I totally
I
forgot.
sort of built the picture of like that young kid
Well, what
seeing
what
that.
would I say to myself basically at 16? Um, don't listen to the fucking haters. Number one. Believe in yourself. Know what your goal is. Keep pushing, man. Let's go. You know.
And now in the
And
reverse though, 1 second. In the reverse though, what would that 16-year-old kid? How proud would that 16-year-old kid be about where you are?
super proud, super proud, super proud, and it just shows that anything is possible. Just don't give up on your dreams, no matter. Fuck the age, bro. The age don't mean shit. That's just the number, man. Honestly, I feel great right now. It's a little bit harder to get in shape at but now I took the proper measures, and I have the right people that I'm working with right now. I hired a strength and conditioning coach, and I feel great, man. I feel great, man. It's
And
crazy because like the diet's super important. I just realized how important diet is when it comes to energy and shit, right? Like, you get old, you start losing, and you fucking. But with the proper diet, eating the right things, man, I wake up like $1 million. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. So, it's definitely I tap myself on the shoulder to answer your
no, but I think that's
question.
important, man, because I think fighters have a hard fucking life in the sense that you train so hard, and maybe different fighters have different mentalities, but you go into a fight, and if you come out, and I'm not saying this or anything else, but you have a winner or a loss, and sometimes when you come out with a loss, it's crickets. You don't have people talking to you. You don't get you know what I mean? People aren't bugging you, and it's like you put all this into it, and it's like there's a lot that goes into being a fighter. There's a lot that goes into the wins and losses, and the blood and the sweat and the tears. So it's like, and I know that you have a little bit of a different mentality to it, but it's like it's good for you to be able to acknowledge that because you've put in so much time. And the one thing you say about dreams, it's like not every dream is. It doesn't have to be the belt in the UFC if you're a fighter. I'm speaking to because a lot of fighters listen to my channel. And it's like it doesn't have to be this one thing. Dennis is out in Thailand loving his life, absolutely living a dream out there, just doing that alone. He gets to fight Rodtang, and Rodtang gets to fight him in possibly what will be one of the top fights over the next 5 years. Like there's just so much to this that is a peak. It's getting my blood going right now, even thinking about it. So it's just cool to see that you found your way and it's your dream and your, some people just aren't happy unless it's got to be this. And it's like, it's beautiful that you sort of landed exactly where you have. So
Well, you
hats
just
off to
gotta
you on that one.
believe it. You gotta believe in what you're doing. That's the most important thing, because you're gonna run into obstacles, and it's like gonna look like it's not fucking going anywhere. But you just gotta hop over it, go around it, and keep pushing and keep believing that it's going to happen. You know, um, when I first watched Rodtang fight, in one championship, and they caught my eye, and I keep seeing him fight more and keep winning, and I'm like, man, this is guy. I'm gonna go fight this guy one day. Nobody believed me, bro. Nobody believed me, bro. They were like, buddy, you're ready to retire. What's wrong with you? Sit your ass down and enjoy. Nah, I'm going out there. I'm gonna chase this fight. And a couple years down the road, look where we are. So that just shows you, don't listen to the fucking crit. You have a goal, you focus and you work hard, man. And believe me, you're gonna get there.
Dennis, maybe even in the short term, man, like even in the broadcast, they weren't even really pushing that might even be a fight that would happen. And sure enough, you just
No,
willed it into
nobody
existence. You're like,
believed it.
no.
Nobody, nobody believed it but me. Even some people, even now, there's a lot of fucking haters, man. Even now, they're saying, how did this happen? Or this guy doesn't deserve this. He looked like shit in his last fight. I had a bad weight cut in my last fight, so that's why I gassed out. You know what I mean? The only reason why I gassed out, and you know,
And that
but
is
this time
the other hardest thing. It's the double-edged sword to being a fighter, because it's like you're under a microscope for like however long you're in that cage or in that ring, and it's like
yeah.
it's not always going to come together. It's not. It's just not. It doesn't
No.
come together for the 21-year-old. It's not going to come together for the 39-year-old every time. It's not going to all line up perfectly, and it is what it is. And
No.
it's like you at your highest level still goes and performs absolutely amazing under the lights, no matter what. And the guys that are on the fucking keyboards can kick rocks.
Exactly. They can never have this life, bro. They can never go through these things that we go through, bro. It's not even just the training, man. The sacrifice, being away from my mom, my dad, my kid, my son, my wife. You know what I mean? Like the sacrifices you gotta take to. It's not just the training. The training is beautiful. I enjoy training. You know what I mean? I love that. Yeah, and like, and it's those are the training, the hard times are the times of glory where you look back and you like fucking, those blood, sweat, and tears. That's the highlight of your upcoming. You know what I mean? So
And
you
don't
gotta
let anybody
embrace
tell
this.
you. I know it's a huge sacrifice for you being away. Don't let anybody tell you anything else, because the sacrifice you being away right now, you're building. It's not just for your own ego. You're building this legacy of who you are. That's built this legacy of soy dogs. It's going to build a legacy for your kids. So it's brilliant. Absolutely love what you're doing, man.
Well, that's what I have in mind always. My in my mind is I'm trying to build a legacy, and this is gonna go, gonna later on, be good for my kid, my family, for and my soy dogs. You know what I mean?
100%.
Just like you said. So yeah.
Now, I know I told you I didn't want to take too much of your time, but on the out, I just, because I want to put together a nice little reel for you here. I want you just to dig in on Rodtang and let us all know what we're going to witness come this fight.
Uh, there's gonna be an earthquake come July or June 7th. Um, don't blink. It's gonna be an earthquake in Bangkok.
Rodtang, Puric, let's go. Love it. Thank you so much for your time,
Watch
man. And I look forward to actually meeting you in person eventually one day. Maybe I'll come over to Soy Dogs, and love to see you
anytime.
soon, man.
More than
All right,
welcome
brother.
anytime.
Cheers.
God bless.
Let's go get that win,
Watch.
man. Love it.
Let's
Respect.
go.